Hi, can you guys hear me? I think we can. Just getting set up here, making sure everything's working logistically. Will I fit? I fit. All right, give a couple minutes for people to come if they're coming, and then we'll get started. Let's see who. Oh, this is my first time on here doing the live on my computer, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to, chat, answer questions as we're doing these live classes. And then if you're not with me live while we're doing it, you can just leave your questions in the comments. And then every week, I will be going through those questions. And then on Fridays, we will go over them together. So that will be really cool. Okay. All right. So just give it a couple minutes and then we'll get started. Oh, I can share my screen. That's fun. So like if I'm waiting, I could probably do this. And I can make this super big. I'm such a dance nerd. This is so fun to me. And then if I come back to you guys, look, I can share my screen. First, I have to give it permission. Oh, I can't quit it. I said it might not work until I quit Chrome and restart it. I don't want to do that because then I'll lose you guys, right? So we won't do that right now. Yeah, it's not letting me. But that's okay. We'll be ready for it next time, maybe. All right, what time is it? Almost. Get a couple more minutes, and then we'll get started. Okay, so let me come a little bit closer, bend down while I talk. So my kids are out of school today. Happy Labor Day, everybody. So if we get a little bit of like run in you hear upstairs or an interruption here and there, that's okay. They're kids, right? Most of the other days we should be good because they don't get out of school till 3:30 or to 4 o'clock. Except tomorrow on Tuesdays, they actually get out early. So we'll probably be dealing with a little bit of that as well on Tuesdays. But, we do what we can. I'm super excited to be here. And I'm really excited that you are here as well to work on your dancing skill. Just a little personal thing for me. And as your dance coach, this is my passion. It's some people who know me or just getting to know me don't realize that this is not only my passion, but I've made it my career as well. So this is how I support my family. And we have had some hard years, my family, a lot of mental health things going on. And I will admit, I was really discouraged a couple years ago. I didn't think, because we tried to get a physical space, a studio, that didn't work out. So I thought I was going to have to let go of my dream of, just dancing and teaching dance as a career because I felt like it wasn't providing enough income. Well, then we see all these success stories of YouTubers, right? And I'm not necessarily a YouTuber, but I am a professional instructor. And I do realize that not everybody can afford private lessons or don't have the time. So I'm hoping that this can be a great tool for those who don't take private lessons, and even better, like asset for those who already are taking private lessons. It's so good. I'm always encouraging my students to take from multiple instructors. Not that we all teach different things, but we have different styles, different ways of teaching it. And we sometimes it's so different that it actually sounds like we're saying the different things, but that's usually not the case. But it really does help your progress and your learning to have more than just one resource. Okay. I love dance communities. I love dance families. They really are what keep my heart beating. And so I'm really excited about the opportunity to build an online community with my personal students, and then with more students and all across America and the world. Like, how cool is that? I'm dating my age a little bit, but growing up, that wasn't even a thought, so it is possible. So I'm starting this. We're going to do this all throughout the school year. I'll take the summers off, but we'll do it every year and just keep building community. I am here for you. I'm not one of those like untouchable professionals, untouchable YouTubers. I'm not famous or anything like that. I try to stay really humble, and I really just like to help people and encourage people, especially when it comes to dancing, because I know how good it can help us all feel. So I will stop talking and we will get into it. I'll make sure I put down in the comments where to fast forward it to get to the meat and potatoes of the lesson. So if you are expecting to see the basic today, get that expectation out of your head, because we're not going to do that quite yet today. So the purpose of these series is to really break everything down into very simple, buildable steps. Hold on, my daughter's here. You need something, hon? Or are you just watching?
I have a question.
Okay, what's up?
Dad said yes, but can I fake drive the car?
Yeah, just don't touch any buttons.
Okay.
So we're not going to see the basic today and what it looks like together. We're simply going to talk about the elements that make up the basement. The basement, oh my word, the basic. I've already been teaching for a while today, so excuse my lack of words. But so the elements, you've got some basic elements in ballroom dancing. The very first one is just walking forward. Okay, and we can also walk backwards. We also have side steps, the dance jargon in the ballroom world and also in some other dance genres. These are called chassés. CHASSE, or maybe just SE. I don't remember. I don't write it much anymore. So chassés are side steps, okay? And then we also have rock steps. A rock step, let me back up a little bit so you can see my feet. A rock step is defined by moving your weight back and forth over your legs, okay? So you can rock to the front by sticking one leg out and then moving your weight back to the back leg and just going back and forth like that, okay? So that's rocking, okay, to the front. We can take that same leg and start and go backwards, rock back, okay? We can even rock to the side, all right? So we can step out to the side and rock, shifting our weight from one foot to the other, okay? So those are your basic elements of dancing. Anything that we do as ballroom dancers can be broken down to its simplest form by those elements. Very similar to science, right? We've got matter, and then the matter's got the atoms, right? And then atoms have electrons. Gosh, it's been a long time, but I used to love science. So it's the very base, the very smallest element of the basics, okay? So what we want to talk about first, let's talk about the rock steps, okay? Because depending on what style you're doing will affect how you're doing those rock steps, okay? For example, if you're doing a smooth dance like waltz or foxtrot, you're going to be using a lot of your, back up again, I'm going to have to back up my camera next time, but you're going to be using a lot of your feet to, like, you're going to start with the heel, right? And you're going to rock onto the flat of the foot, and you'll probably even come up to the ball, right? And you'll come back. And it's a very smooth action, okay? I like to compare this to a rocking chair, right? You know how the base of a rocking chair is curved like this? So that's kind of what your feet are you're kind of making your feet like the curve of a rocking chair. So right there, you see the curve in my feet, my heel is up in the back, my toe is up in the front, that creates that curve. So in the middle, I'm split weight, right? But as I'm rocking, I'm using my feet to stabilize that, right? I'm not really using anything up here. My spine is just moving very still forward and back, okay? Very smooth way to execute your rock steps. Now, because we're doing American Cha-Cha, we want rhythm, right? We want a lot of rhythm. So when we do our rock step, you want to think more about your hip weight going into your weight change, okay? So instead of thinking about the whole spine coming forward, right, you're thinking more of the center and settling over that hip weight. That way you kind of have a little rhythm, right, almost a pause, okay? All right, so we can practice that. Doesn't matter what foot you take, just come forward, and you're gonna kind of like leave your back foot where it's at, but put your weight on your front, kind of like, oh man, I'm waiting forever. Just kind of put your weight into that hip, right? Some of us, if you get attitude, you kind of pop your hip out, right? So it's that same thing. I'm rocking back, and some people call it settling. I don't like that word so much, just because when people think settled, they tend to like lose their posture and everything, and then it creates bad habits for the future. So when you settle, be careful that it's just enough to feel the weight going into that leg. You don't want to go so much that you're really overstretching and causing your body to do S shapes, because that, when you start dancing with somebody else, is going to pull them off balance. It's probably going to pull yourself off balance too, okay? So for our rock step, to relate it to our cha-cha, if you're a lead, you'll be rocking forward on the left foot. So shake your left foot, all right? Take it forward and rock, okay? And then just rock back. Rock forward, rock back. Rock forward, rock back, okay? Changing the weight, focusing mostly on the hip weight. See how I'm settling, right? I'm not making it smooth like that rocking chair base, right? But I'm moving my hips, putting my weight over my feet, okay? So you'll have a forward rock with the left foot. You'll also have a back rock with the right foot. So after you do a few rock steps forward with the left, you know, just getting comfortable doing this, feeling your body. What does it want to do? Some of you are really going to want to break. Some of you aren't going to want to settle at all, and you're going to have to kind of force it. Yeah. Okay. So you're doing a bunch of that. All right. Rocking, 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 left foot forward. Okay. The other one, like I said, is your right foot going back. So you start with your feet together. Take your right foot and go backwards. Rock, rock, back, rock, back, rock, back, rock. Okay, so our first element of our cha-cha basic is a forward rock with the left foot, rock, step, and then a back rock with the right step, or right foot, rock, step. Okay, practice those individually. Let me know if you have questions, if it's feeling funny, if you're not sure if it's supposed to feel that way, just ask me in the comments or right now, let me know and I'll answer you, okay? The other element, the only other element now that you have is your chassé steps, okay? So remember, those chassé steps are side steps, all right? So we step to the side, we're gonna close our feet. Step to the side and close our feet. Step to the side, close, step to the side, close. We can go back the other way, step to the side, close, step to the side, close, step to the side, close, and step to the side, and close. Take notice that when I did my side steps, I did not go woo, woo. So they're not huge, right? They're not, for those of you who like exact directions, don't make your steps bigger than your hips. Okay, I tell my private students, look down. Okay, imagine there's an inner tube. Maybe put your hands over like this. When you step out and you're looking down, if you can see your foot out there, out from underneath your hand, your step is too big. Try to keep your steps right underneath your hips, okay? So you will, in the Cha-Cha Basic, have to go to the left and to the right. So why don't we practice that? Why don't we go 3 to the left and then 3 to the right, okay? So we're going to go 1 and close your feet. That's 1 full chasse. 2, close the feet. And 3, close the feet. Now let's go to the right. Right, close, right, close, right, close. Okay, so at home, if you're brand new to dancing, this is all you want to practice right now. All you want to think about. Left foot forward, rock step. Right foot back, rock step. Left chasse. And then right chasse. Okay? Go ahead, honey.
Do you know where my phone is?
All right, so now those are the elements of the positions, like where you're stepping with your feet. Okay, now there's some other technical elements that are so important to put into your stepping and how you're moving right away in the beginning. To become a good dancer, you don't just want to know where your feet are going. And you can talk to anybody who's been dancing for a good length of time and ask them, do you feel like your whole body is dancing? And if they've been dancing for a long time without private lessons and everything, they'll probably say no. They're like, I just move my feet, but I don't really dance my upper body, right? So how you hold yourself affects your balance. It affects the way the step looks, whether it's smooth or rhythmical. It affects your communication with your partner. So there's really no point in practicing all these things I'm teaching you without the correct technique. I mean, you could, but then you're just going to have to practice twice as much, right? So it's a lot more efficient to already put it in the beginning, okay? I've been teaching for over 15 years, and this is one of the biggest things that I was not trained to do in the very beginning. And I did it that way for a while, and honest to goodness, no matter the ability of the student, it is always best to at least show them and let them hear how they're supposed to be moving first, okay? I cannot stress that enough. You are not going to feel good about your patterns, even if they're perfect, if you're moving like a stick, right? It's just going to feel awkward. So let's get to it. So the main elements about how you're moving, 2 of them in my mind. First of all, your feet have got to be turned out, okay? So you don't want to keep your feet parallel like this. This is called parallel feet, but you need a slight turnout, which means your heels are together and your feet are slightly turned out. There's a couple of reasons for this. Number one logical reason is you are creating for yourself more surface area to stand on. Everybody say, hi, May. Hi, May. And there she is. So it's going to help your balance and your control, okay? Especially when you get your hips all moving in there and all this is wiggling, you're going to want a nice strong base to keep you upright, yes? Okay, so turned out feet. Every single step, your foot needs to stay turned out, okay? So that is a practice in itself. If you're having difficulties with it and you need some tips, message me, comment, holler my name. I'll try to find you and we'll help you figure it out, okay? So feet turned out. The other thing we want to talk about is our poise. Now, poise is where you hold your weight over your feet, okay? So most of us, when we stand up nice and tall, we'll have kind of a middle poise, right? Our weight is not more in the balls of forward or it's not more in the heels, but we're standing in the middle of our feet, okay? When we dance American rhythm, which includes American ChaCha, we want to have what's called a forward poise. So we take our spine and from our ankles, we bring the whole spine forward into space, keeping the spine straight. So you're going to have to use your abs to support the lower back, okay? And you're going to have to use your upper shoulders and back muscles to keep the chest open. Otherwise, gravity, because you're going forward, will pull it forward, okay? So open up the chest, tighten the back, okay? And tighten the stomach and come forward. For those of you who have ever skied, the first time I skied, I was dancing first. I put on those ski boots, and the instructor was like, now lean forward. And it was so cool because the boots are there to support you, right? And you're like, woo! And you can just lean into those boots and feel like you're hovering, right? Flying forward. That's kind of the sensation you want. It's not as exaggerate, as big as that. Lack of a better word, I can't talk. Like I said, it's Monday. You want to come forward, okay? So that you feel like the weight. Let me back up so you can see my feet. So that when I come forward, there's not as much weight in the heels, okay? We say 80-20 is a pretty good rule. So 80% of your weight in the ball of your feet, 20% in the heels, okay? That means when you're dancing with your partner, you guys kind of have a little bit of an A-frame, okay? So your upper bodies are actually going to end up a little bit closer than the hips and the feet, okay? So again, I mean, if you try to do forward poise with parallel feet, it's going to be a lot harder. You're going to end up kind of bending a little bit because to send your hips straight, you're going to feel like you don't have that support, right? So turning out your feet really, really helps that, okay? So tighten the abs, tuck the tailbone under, stay nice and tall, bring the chest forward without dropping it so that you are leaning forward, but not breaking anything, okay? So now we practice our elements with those technical elements on top of it. Let's just pick one at a time. Let's do the feet first, okay? So we have our feet turned out, right? Let's go ahead and do our rock step. So when you move your left foot forward for your rock step, make sure that you're thinking about that ankle staying turned out, those toes staying turned out, and that you don't come forward with a straight foot, all right? So we come forward, we're rocking, we're rocking, we're rocking, we're rocking, we're rocking, we're rocking, all right? Rocking, 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 rocking. Using my hip weight, rocking, 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 rocking. My daughter has another question. In the meantime, everybody take your right foot and then go backwards for your back rock, keeping that right foot turned out. Make sure it doesn't turn in, but it stays turned out. We're rocking, we're rocking, we're rocking, we're rocking. Try to keep those feet on the floor in between the rocks, so I'm not picking up the feet like this. It's going to help you stay grounded and more smooth, cool looking. Okay, so keep those feet on the floor, which directly relates to your size of your rock. If you stuck your right foot way, way far in the back, it's going to be really hard to keep your foot on the floor. Really hard. Okay, I'm going to have to extend and give me a pretty point to keep those toes on the floor. So make it small, right? Work smarter, not harder. Okay, so you can keep those feet on the floor. Okay. Yes, May, go ahead. Okay, when I'm done with this class, I'll help you, okay? I'm almost done. Like 5 more minutes.
Do you have your phone?
It's right here, but I can't use it right now. Stop. I need time. No more interrupting, please. 5 more minutes. Okay, so we did the turned out feet for the rock steps. Now let's go through the chassés, right? So we're going side, really small steps, okay? Make sure those feet are staying turned out. We're not stepping big. We're stepping really, really small. Some instructors will talk about inside edges of the feet. So when you step to the side, if you aim to hit the inside edge of your foot first, that will help keep the foot turned out. Okay, there we go. All right, and then we can go to the other way. All right, now that we have our feet turned out during our elements, our rock steps, and our chassés, now we can add the forward poise, right? So I turn sideways so you can see my forward poise. I'm standing up nice and tall, 50 in the balls of my feet, 50 in the heels of my feet. But now I take my whole spine, my hips included, because they include my tailbone, and come forward. So now I have a forward poise. Now here's the issue. When we go to rock forward, make sure you lead with the chest to keep that forward poise. If you lead with the foot or the hip, anything from here down, you're going to send yourself backwards like this, okay? So think about somebody pulling your chest forward into that rock step, okay? I kept my back foot down, my feet are still turned out. Okay, now when you go backwards, then make sure you don't lose your forward poise. Make sure you think about somebody pulling from the tailbone. Okay, so chest to go forward, tailbone to go back, chest to go forward, tailbone to go back. That way I can keep my forward poise as I'm rocking, okay? And I don't end up doing this, right? Or this, any bending, okay? So there should be no bending either way. The spine should be straight, okay? All right, so we did feet turned out. We did poise. We also talked about small steps, right? So all three of those things are going to set you up for success. The last thing that we need to talk about, and which is sometimes the hardest for people to feel or to know if they're doing it correctly or not. So be in communication with me so that I can help you with this. But you want to make sure you're moving from the core when you dance, making sure you're moving your whole spine. So a lot of times when I see beginners try to do these elements, what happens is they'll take, let me do the side step because that's kind of, so they'll do the side step, right? But they're like picking up the feet, and they're moving the foot first, right? And then they're moving their head. Like this thing's like, you know, kind of like that. What you want to do is you want to think about, this is your core, everything from the hip and shoulders down, this area. If you want to move to the side, then you're going to move the core to the side first. I don't tilt it to the side, but I think about it shifting over, okay? And then I can take my step. Then when I close my feet again, I'm making sure I put my weight back over that foot that I'm about to step on. So I'm always moving my core over my weighted foot, okay? I'm not like a fisher. I'm not casting out my foot, right? And then pulling my body on top of it. That's not what I'm doing. If anything, I'm casting out my chest and then falling with style, like Buzz Lightyear, onto my foot. Okay, so in the beginning, it's totally fine if you're just moving with your feet, right? Just to get kind of your feet going in the right direction. But once you know where your feet are going, you have to start practicing by moving from the belly button, right? Think about the belly button, or maybe think about the sternum, or maybe think about the lower back. That has to move you first, okay? It's like if somebody were to come up from behind you and give you a nice guide or push from the core, okay? If you would do it in slow motion, you'd probably do wow, yeah? So that is super, super important. So once you get really familiar and comfortable with where your feet are going, please make sure you ask a friend or you look at yourself in the mirror. Is my spine moving over to my foot that I'm stepping onto? Okay. And even a step further, is it going first? Okay. So make sure you're moving from the core. Make sure you have small steps. Make sure you have forward poise. And make sure your feet are turned out. Okay. So with those 4 things, practice your rock step with the left foot forward. Okay. Practice your rock step with your right foot back. And then practice your chasse steps. Nice and small, turned out, forward poise, good posture, all that jazz. Okay. Do a few reps today and tonight, maybe a few more tomorrow. And then I will see you back here again tomorrow at 3, and we'll put those elements together and show you what the basic looks like and give you some tips for that and executing it well so that you feel good and balanced and control and confident, right? So that wraps it up for today's class. This was super fun. Like I said, I'm really excited to be doing this. If you missed it today, no big deal. It will be posted, so you should be able to find it for as long as I think forever, unless I delete it. Again, if there's anything specific you guys are looking for or need extra help with, just reach out to me. I'm here for you. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. It was fun.